Have you ever found yourself deeply drawn to your twin flame, so magnetically, so intensely, that it leaves you questioning everything you thought you understood about love, desire, and spiritual connection? Maybe you've sensed a powerful yearning in him that seems to go beyond the physical, yet you can't quite explain what drives it. Is it lust? Is it love? Or is it something far more mysterious and spiritual? If you're here, it's likely because you're trying to decode the hidden forces behind his desire and understand what it means for your sacred connection. In today's video, we're going to pull back the veil on the deeper layers of male desire in twin flame relationships. You'll discover that this energy isn't just about physical attraction. It's a reflection of his inner wounds, emotional blocks, suppressed feelings, and even his spiritual awakening. We'll guide you through the unseen layers of the masculine psyche and show how his desire is often a cry for healing, a search for wholeness, and a response to your divine feminine energy. By understanding what's truly happening beneath the surface, you'll be able to relate to him from a space of compassion, strength, and spiritual clarity. By the end of this video, you won't just see his desire as a confusing or one-sided obsession. You'll recognize it as a sacred thread in your shared soul journey, a mirror of your own spiritual evolution, and a key to unlocking deeper emotional intimacy. This insight will empower you to navigate the twin flame dynamic with greater wisdom, helping you strengthen your bond while also honoring your own growth. Get ready to transform confusion into clarity, longing into understanding, and attraction into divine alignment. Number 1. What truly fuels male desire in the twin flame journey? Have you ever wondered what truly drives a man's desire in a twin flame connection? It's not just about physical attraction or romantic interest. It's something far deeper, more profound, and often more mysterious. In a twin flame relationship, male desire is not simply a reaction to outer beauty or chemistry. It is a multi-layered force, intricately woven with emotional vulnerability, spiritual awakening, and subconscious longing. At the heart of this desire lies a soul-level recognition. When a man meets his twin flame, something ancient stirs within him, something he may not even understand at first. This isn't a typical romantic pull. It's a magnetic force that speaks to his spirit, awakening dormant parts of his being that have long been suppressed by ego, fear, or societal expectations. It triggers a longing not just for the feminine, but for wholeness, for a return to something sacred and forgotten. The connection acts like a mirror, reflecting back all that he has hidden from himself. In the presence of his counterpart, he's drawn not only to her physical presence, but to the emotional and spiritual light she carries. That light calls him home. It beckons him toward healing, toward a version of himself he has yet to become. This desire isn't just passionate, it's transformative. It brings him face to face with his emotional wounds, his inner child, and the depth of his longing to feel understood and accepted without conditions. Physical attraction may spark the initial connection, but it cannot explain the intensity that follows. What he feels is a spiritual hunger, a soul-to-soul yearning that transcends reason or logic. It's not just that he wants her, it's that he needs to evolve, and she is the catalyst. The divine feminine energy in his twin flame doesn't just attract him, it activates him. This is why male desire in twin flames is so powerful, so persistent, and sometimes so confusing for him. It is a call to rise, a call to awaken, a call to love, not just her, but the divine within himself. Before we dive deeper into how this awakening journey unfolds within the masculine, how his emotions evolve, how his soul begins to speak, and how the divine feminine becomes the key to his transformation, take a moment to reflect. Have you felt this kind of soul-level pull in your connection? Does this resonate with what you or your counterpart might be experiencing? If so, Let us know in the comments below. Share your thoughts or simply type. His desire is more than physical. It's a call to awaken. Your voice matters, and your experience might help others feel seen and understood. Don't forget to like this video if it's speaking to your soul. Now, let's move forward into the heart of his transformation. Number 2, the divine dance, emotional connection versus physical attraction in the twin flame journey. For many men on the twin flame path, the tension between emotional connection and physical attraction can feel confusing, even disorienting. It's not just a battle of heart versus body, it's a profound initiation into a deeper understanding of love itself. The emotional bond they experience with their twin flame is unlike anything they've encountered before. It penetrates beyond surface-level affection, reaching deep into the soul, awakening a longing not just to be loved, but to be seen, understood, and accepted on the most intimate emotional level. At the same time, the physical attraction is raw, primal, and utterly consuming. It isn't merely about desire, it's a magnetic pull that defies logic, rooted in soul recognition, but expressed through the body. This physical draw can feel overpowering at times, stirring intense longing, passion, and even frustration. For many men, this dual experience of emotional intimacy and physical desire creates a deep inner conflict. They wonder, is this love? Is this lust? Or is it something beyond either? As the masculine energy matures spiritually, clarity begins to emerge. They start to realize that emotional connection and physical attraction are not separate forces pulling them in different directions. In truth, they are two expressions of the same divine energy. One speaks the language of the heart, the other the language of the body. Together, they form a sacred union that transcends ordinary relationships. When these two aspects are harmonized, when a man allows his emotional vulnerability to meet his physical passion, something powerful awakens. The connection becomes not only deeply intimate, but also profoundly spiritual. It becomes a force that heals, awakens, and transforms. In this union, love is no longer fragmented. It is whole, alive, and aligned with the soul's deepest truth. This is the sacred dance of twin flames, not the battle between heart and flesh, but the reunion of both, guided by the soul's longing to return home. Number 3, the fear of vulnerability. Why he may resist. For the masculine, vulnerability is often the final frontier, the most feared and misunderstood aspect of emotional connection. While physical strength or stoic silence might have been praised or even expected throughout his life, the act of opening up, truly revealing his inner emotional world, feels like stepping into unknown, dangerous territory. Letting someone see his raw, unfiltered truth means exposing past wounds, insecurities, and deeply buried pain. And for many men, that level of emotional exposure can feel utterly terrifying. This fear doesn't arise in a vacuum. It is shaped by years, sometimes lifetimes, of societal conditioning that teaches men to suppress their emotions, to be the protector, never the one in need of protection. They are told to be tough, unshakable, in control. So when the twin flame connection arrives with all its soul-shaking intensity, it disrupts everything he thought he knew about love, safety, and identity. The depth of this connection requires more than romantic gestures. It demands emotional nakedness, and that, for him, can be paralyzing. He may resist. He may push away the very person who ignites his soul. He may deny his feelings, disappear, or even run, not because he doesn't feel the connection, but because he feels it too much. The love is not just deep, it's soul-penetrating. And that level of closeness, ironically, awakens his deepest fears of abandonment, rejection, or not being enough. Yet, beneath that fear lies the key to his healing. The very connection he tries to escape is the one that holds the power to liberate him. When he begins to understand that vulnerability is not weakness, but a profound form of courage, something begins to shift. The walls built from years of suppression start to crack. He slowly allows himself to feel, to be seen, to be held not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. And it is often the safe, steady, and loving presence of the divine feminine that makes this transformation possible. She doesn't force him open, she holds space for his becoming. Through her compassion and patience, he learns to trust, not just her, but himself. And in doing so, he awakens to the truth that real strength lies in being real. This is why he may resist, but it is also why, in time, he may return, not as a man in hiding, but as a man reborn through the power of love. Imagine a man named Daniel, a successful entrepreneur known for his confidence, charisma, and emotional control. To the outside world, he had it all together. But beneath the surface, he carried years of unspoken pain, childhood wounds, heartbreaks, and a deep fear of being truly seen. When he met his twin flame, everything shifted. Her presence was disarming. She didn't just admire the image he projected, she saw through it. She noticed the flicker of sadness behind his smile, the hesitation in his voice when emotions rose. At first, Daniel pulled away. He told himself he wasn't ready, that it was moving too fast, that he needed space. But the truth was, he felt exposed in a way he never had before. The connection she offered was pure, but it required him to strip away his armor. Over time, her unwavering love and gentle presence created a safe space where he could finally begin to open. In small moments, tearful conversations, long silences filled with trust, Daniel started to share his inner world, and in doing so, he discovered that vulnerability wasn't something to fear. It was the gateway to deeper love, intimacy, and freedom. His resistance wasn't rejection, it was fear asking for time and tenderness. Through their journey, Daniel learned that healing begins the moment we stop hiding and start allowing ourselves to be known. Number 4. Signs he desires you, but is struggling with the depth of the connection. Have you ever felt an undeniable pull from someone, only to be met with silence, mixed signals, or sudden withdrawal? It can be confusing, even painful, especially when your heart tells you there is something real between you. The truth is, when a man deeply desires you but is unprepared for the magnitude of the bond, his behavior often speaks louder than his words. And those signs, while frustrating, are not signs of indifference, but signs of an inner storm. One of the clearest indicators is inconsistent communication. He may reach out with warmth and interest, only to disappear for days or suddenly go cold. This push-pull dynamic reveals his internal conflict. He feels drawn to you, yet overwhelmed by the emotional vulnerability the connection demands. His heart wants closeness, but his mind isn't sure how to handle the gravity of it. Emotional detachment is another common sign. He may seem distant or even unemotional at times, but this often isn't about a lack of care. It's a coping mechanism, a way to manage the powerful feelings surging beneath the surface. His detachment may be his attempt to stay in control when everything inside feels like it's unraveling. Then there's physical withdrawal. He might retreat from your presence or avoid intimacy altogether, not because he doesn't desire you, but because being near you stirs something too raw, too intense, too unfamiliar. He is afraid of being seen fully, and more than that, afraid of losing himself in the depth of your connection. Overthinking is also a major sign. You may sense that he's analyzing every interaction, weighing every word, and caught in a cycle of mental loops. This is his way of trying to make logical sense of something that is inherently spiritual and emotional. Overthinking becomes his armor, a defense against risking his heart. But here's what's important to remember. These signs do not mean he doesn't love you. They are not rejections. Instead, they reflect a deep inner transformation unfolding within him. He is confronting fears, shedding layers, and unlearning patterns that have kept him safe but distant. Your connection is awakening something profound, and with that comes resistance, confusion, and growing pains. What you're witnessing is not avoidance, but evolution. He is being stretched beyond his comfort zone, learning how to show up fully, love deeply, and surrender completely. It's not easy, but his struggle is part of the journey toward becoming the man your bond is calling him to be. If you've made it this far, it means you're not just curious, you're deeply invested in understanding the heart of someone who may be silently battling their feelings for you. That says a lot about your compassion and emotional depth. Take a moment to reflect. Have you seen these signs in someone you care about? Have you ever felt caught in the middle of love and uncertainty? We'd love to hear your story in the comments, whether it's something you're currently facing or a chapter you've already lived through. And if you're not ready to share your full experience, simply type, "His struggle is not rejection, it's transformation," in the comments as your affirmation. Let that be your reminder that growth often begins in confusion, and love, even when hidden, is still love. Number 5, the energy of separation and reunion in the twin flame journey. The path of twin flames is anything but straightforward. It is not a simple linear ascent toward unity. It is a sacred dance of coming together and pulling apart, a divine rhythm of separation and reunion. Though painful, the phase of separation is never a final goodbye. It is a divinely orchestrated pause, a necessary period of stillness and distance that serves a higher purpose. In this space, both souls are called to turn inward, to face their deepest shadows, and to heal the unresolved pain that would otherwise hinder true union. This is where they learn to stand in their own light, to remember who they are outside of the bond, and to rebuild a sense of personal wholeness. Separation can feel like abandonment, rejection, or confusion, but at its core, it is a gift. It pushes both the divine masculine and the divine feminine to confront fears of loss, feelings of unworthiness, and the illusions of dependency. It is a sacred initiation into self-love, independence, and spiritual maturity. In this space of solitude, the soul expands. Lessons are learned, karma is cleared, and wounds begin to transmute into wisdom. Then comes reunion, but not the kind marked only by physical closeness. True reunion is spiritual, emotional, and deeply conscious. It arrives when both individuals have shed the old patterns that kept them stuck. When they meet again, it's with new eyes, open hearts, and a deeper awareness of their shared mission. This reunion is not about completing each other, but about celebrating the wholeness they've each reclaimed. The love that once felt volatile or overwhelming now becomes grounded, balanced, and unshakably real. With every cycle of separation and return, the connection grows stronger. Each phase refines the bond, deepens the understanding, and clears the path for divine alignment. These cycles are not punishments or setbacks. They are sacred invitations to evolve, to rise above ego, and to root the connection in something more enduring than desire. Unconditional love, unwavering trust, and divine timing. To walk the twin flame path is to surrender to this rhythm. It's a journey of faith, of trusting that every pause is purposeful, every challenge is a catalyst, and every reunion is a reflection of how far both souls have come. When embraced with patience and an open heart, this cyclical journey leads not only to union with the other, but to union with one's highest self. Number 6, the role of feminine energy in awakening and balancing his desire. Feminine energy is not just a presence in the twin flame journey. It is the sacred catalyst that awakens and transforms masculine desire at its core. Far beyond appearances or seduction, the feminine holds a quiet but powerful force that speaks directly to the soul of the masculine. Her energy does not chase, demand, or control. Instead, it invites. It draws him in, not through pressure, but through authenticity, presence, and a deep emotional resonance that he cannot ignore. When the divine feminine fully embodies her truth, when she stands rooted in her intuition, vulnerability, and self-worth, she becomes a mirror for him. In her, he sees both what he desires and what he is afraid of. Her emotional depth challenges his walls. Her openness triggers his suppressed feelings. Her unwavering presence calls him to awaken. Without ever needing to speak it, she shows him that his desire is not something to fear or suppress, but something to be explored, elevated, and made sacred. The feminine teaches him that real desire is not simply about physical attraction. It's about emotional safety. It's about being seen, accepted, and held, not just in passion, but in pain, confusion, and uncertainty. Her unconditional love becomes a sanctuary for his wounded masculine heart, a space where he can let go of the masks and touch the truth of who he is. Through her presence, he begins to understand that true desire is not ego-driven or temporary. It is soul-led. It is eternal. It is a call home. She helps him transmute raw, instinctual longing into sacred connection. The energy that once felt chaotic or overwhelming begins to flow with purpose and alignment. Her softness becomes his strength. Her stillness becomes his clarity. And in this alchemy, a new understanding of love is born. One where desire is no longer rooted in need, but in divine union. Ultimately, the role of the feminine is not to fix or lead the masculine, but to embody the truth of love so fully that he remembers his own. In her light, he finds his way back to himself. And in doing so, the desire that once confused him transforms into a conscious choice to meet her, not just in body, but in heart, spirit, and soul. As we bring this sacred message to a close, let us remember, male desire in a twin flame connection is not something to fear, suppress, or misunderstand. It is a powerful spiritual force, an invitation to rise, to heal, and to remember who you truly are. It is a call that echoes not just through the body, but through the soul. In this journey, desire is no longer simply about physical longing. It is a compass pointing toward your soul's purpose, your divine mirror, and the healing that awaits in full surrender. Feminine energy plays a vital role in this transformation. Through her receptivity, wisdom, and emotional depth, she does not chase or control. She awakens. She becomes the sacred flame that invites the masculine to come home to himself, to feel deeply, and to meet her in a space of true union. Her presence teaches him that real desire is not rooted in ego or fleeting pleasure, but in eternal soul recognition. Together, both souls walk a path that may at times feel confusing, painful, or even impossible. But those challenges are the fire of alchemy. They forge a connection that is resilient, conscious, and divine. The masculine begins to see that his desire is not weakness, but initiation. And the feminine learns that her embodiment is not burden, but sacred guidance. In this space, both are transformed, both are reborn. So now, we ask you to reflect on this quote. Desire is not a distraction. It is the soul's way of remembering love. Type this quote in the comments below to affirm your own awakening and show that you are ready to claim this deeper truth. If this message has stirred something within you, please like this video to amplify its energy, share it with those walking a similar path, and subscribe for more soul-deep wisdom. And don't forget to watch the video below. Your next step in this journey may be waiting for you right there. This is more than a connection. This is the path to union. Are you ready to walk it fully?